Hey guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. It has been quite some time. I do want to apologize. I have not had any time whatsoever to really concentrate on the YouTube channel. But I have been getting a lot of the same question lately, and that is, what does my rig look like nowadays in 2024 for my Def Leppard tribute, which is called Leppard if you don't know. So we're going to use this one camera. If it gets a little shaky, I apologize. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. So me and the other guitar player, Mike, we are all fractal based now. I play through an FM9. I have an FM3 as a backup. I'm going to show you all that. He is now using an FM3 with the FC6 foot pedal to add more switches. But we're just going to concentrate on me. I'm also going to show you kind of our whole self-contained rig for the show. So let's move over here. So what you're seeing is pretty much the brains of the whole operation here. It's our rack case, which we are actually probably next week going to be tearing this thing apart again. We just did it a few weeks ago, but we played a couple of shows this past weekend, and there's a couple of things we need to improve on and a couple of things we need to fix with this. But anyway, we have our router up top here. We have 2G or 5G. That runs the Behringer X32 rack. This thing is awesome. I actually control our in-ear mixes from the stage, and I'll show you that in a minute. Below that, we have 3 of our in-ear systems. Our drummer actually uses this little Behringer. I forgot what the model is, but it's really small. It's just one piece, and he's wired, so he doesn't need to be wireless playing the drums, obviously. So he's on that, and mine is here. I have the Sennheiser G4. Awesome system. Uncle Joe here is our bass player. He has the G4 as well, and then Mike, the other guitar player, uses the Galaxy Audio. So we all stay racked in there. I also have an extra receiver like this if I need to do a non-Leppard gig and not use this rack. Then below that, we have the Behringer S16. That basically adds 16 more inputs and 8 more outputs. We run all of our main subs and fills out of here. Everything is on stage boxes. You can see it on the bottom. I'll run over to what mine looks like. We're gonna clean all this up. This really does run the entire show. It's been a godsend. Let's take a look at my guitars these days that I use in the show. So I'm gonna show you the guitar wall. There's a couple of guitars up on this wall that I do use with Leppard, and there's a couple that I'm not using with Leppard, but anyway. So right here I have a Fender Acoustasonic, and I guess you'd call that butterscotch. Yes, I put the Bruin stickers on there. I'm a Bruins nut. I had the black American version. This is the non-American version. I was able to save about $700 on this, and it really, playing the two together, there wasn't that big of a difference in tone or playability. So I sold the American version and kept that because we only use this on one song, which is Two Steps Behind. Going across, we have my 1991 or 92 Ernie Ball Music Man Van Halen guitar. That is beat to hell now. You can see a little scratch on there. That was like the first real guitar I owned. I had to take a loan out of it on it, and obviously paid it off. But the only guitar I used for about 20 years, and it's pretty much retired now, and it just sits here in the studio up on the rack. This was my main guitar that I used in my Bon Jersey tribute that I'm not in anymore. I'll use that for fill-in gigs if I'm not doing the Leppard stuff. And moving over, that's actually a 24 fret. It's like a Fender Strat Mutt. Like, it's all in one. The pickups on this are, there's an Air Norton DiMarzio and I believe a Tone Zone. Great sounding guitar. Didn't really pay much money for this thing, and I played that for many years with Bon Jersey, my old Bon Jovi tribute. Here we have a Wolfgang Special, but the thing about this guitar is it's got the cheaper body on it, but it has the upgraded Japanese neck, which I think go for around $800 or so, which makes this guitar just feel a lot better. That's kind of like my third guitar that I bring out in case I have an issue with the other two. This is my guitar road case from Quantum Industries. Actually fits 3 guitars. It's made out of resin, so when I need to fly, I can just check this and know that nothing is going to happen to my guitars in here. And there's actually already TSA locks on this. It's super light also. It's not like you got to drag this thing through the airport. It's got wheels on it. It's got a handle on top, handle on the back, handle on the side, and it's really a really cool piece to transport if you need to transport or travel with 3 guitars instead of 2. This is the front case for it, and it has a bag to put all your strings and whatever tools and everything, and it comes with humidifiers also. As far as the guitars in here, I'm not going to pull them out just because they're kind of just in there now, and I'm only got one hand free here. But I have my Charvel. I want to say it's a dual humbucker. It's 24 fret. I love, this is like my #1 guitar right now. I love this guitar. Pretty much play this for most of the show, even though I have this Jackson Phil Collins model PC1 with the sustainer in it and everything, but I just love the way this guitar sounds, the way my hands work with it. This guitar is not as easy to play for me. It's not bad, but we also like to keep the show going, so I try not to switch guitars, even though this guitar I normally would only use for Animal and Hysteria, just because of the sustainer that's built into it. It takes 2 9-volt batteries too, so I use rechargeables on that. All right, so those are the guitars that I am using these days. I will come over to my desk here. This is my backup, my FM3 Mark II Turbo, and I also picked up the Morningstar MC8 to add more switches to this. It just MIDIs in, and you can actually see the scenes or presets right on the screen, so you know where you are. And even though the switches are a little close together, they're not too bad. I haven't had to use this, knock on wood, luckily, yet, but I do bring this to every show just in case. All right, so now we go to the brains of my operation. This is what I call NASA. Starting with my mic, we'll pan all the way down here. I'm missing an iPad. There's actually usually 2 iPads here. I'm going to explain that in a second. And yes, there's a lot of cables and chargers and wires. This is basically my rig. It's the Fractal FM9 Turbo. We do have quads on. I have a quad here for power that runs straight to the rack. And this is the stage box, which has my guitar. Actually, one side of my guitar has my vocals click track, because we do play with a click track just to keep everything consistent from night to night. As far as wireless goes, they're actually charging right now. I use the Carvin WG5. I actually have another brand new box of these, a set of this, because it was super cheap. They're like 150 or 160 bucks off Carvin. And I have not had one issue, no matter the size of the stage, since I've been using this this unit for probably about 4 or 5 years now. Here's the receiver. Well, actually, it's this transmitter receiver. So the receiver goes into the board on the input. The transmitter obviously goes to the guitar. And all I need to do when I'm changing guitars is turn my tuner on. It mutes me. Then I just pop out the transmitter from the guitar, put in the other one, turn the tuner off, I'm good to go. As you can see, I have my photograph preset here. So as far as my tone goes, I am using the Fractal supplied Phil Collins Gift of Tone preset. He had put it out. They put his preset for photograph, his live preset, up around last Christmas when they did their Gift of Tone. And I basically am using that preset, but I'm also altered it to fit my guitar sound a little better, my pickups and my playing. Use that same preset on every song that we do. So I have a preset for every song on my Fractal, so I have bank up, bank down, like that, and I can see all the presets. So if I want to go back down to the bank below, you can see they changed. Sorry about the glare, because I have overhead lights on here. Yeah, so we started with Let's Get Rocked, the last show, and went into Women, Too Late for Love, Animal, Hysteria. So now when I get to this part, I have this button programmed as scenes. So when I hit that, now I have my scene. So I have my intro rhythm, my clean fill. There's a violin section part in here. Then I have just basic like stomp box things. And when I need to get back to the preset, you just hit the preset and then it changes back to banks here and here. Tap tempo. I don't use the tap tempo because since we play to a click, I was able to just set up all my delays with the actual beats per minute or the tempo of every song. So it's already synced in with each song that we do. So going up the pole here, so this is a custom made board. I used to mount one of the iPads down here. That became a little bit of a pain. So obviously a power strip, all the chargers are on here that I need. This right here is an HDMI splitter. Now, what do I need an HDMI splitter for? So I actually run, while I'm playing, while I'm singing backup, I actually run not only a band's in-ear mixes, I also run our click and our videos that play. When we play theaters, we have videos that are synced to the click for each song. When we play theaters, it's, shown on the big screen behind us. iPad here, it's not really charged, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you exactly what it does. So yeah, see, it's low battery. I get on the Wi-Fi, the Leppard Wi-Fi, and that connects me to the Behringer, which is usually on the side of the stage. And then we use X32 Mix. I don't know if it's going to connect right now because I'm not really connected to anything yet. All right, so I am connected. So basically, my ears are here, bass player here, other guitar player here, and then we move up singer and drummer, and I can adjust anything that they need as far as like vocals. All the drums are down here, guitars and all that stuff, click and all that. Pretty simple setup. We don't usually, once we get things set, we don't have to be going crazy during the show. We have to adjust the click every now and then, but that's about it. So the iPad that's usually here, it's actually in my house right now because that's my main iPad that I use for other things. But that holds the click track stuff, and I just run out of that with an Apple adapter, and all our videos run off of that too. So HDMI out of the iPad into one of these inputs, and then that splits it and it goes out to the venue. Now, the other input for the HDMI, I just recently picked this up. It's a 15-inch, just super ultra thin monitor. And I keep that on the stage, usually like right near me over here, just so I can see the videos and make sure they are, without having to turn around every 3 seconds to look at the screen behind us. I use that monitor on the stage, like usually standing up right there to keep an eye on things. So that's basically it as far as my setup goes. Super simple. Like we're all on in-ears, like I said earlier. The thing about my guitar tone and the other guitar players, we are actually in stereo. All my effects through the fractal stuff and on his are set to stereo. The choruses, the delays, the reverbs, all that stuff. And it's really, it sounds so much better in the ears when you have that huge wide sound spectrum going across your ears from left to right or whatever. You can hear, and if you have like ping pong delay set up, you'll hear the ping pongs going out. And we also send stereo out to front of house, and our sound guy can choose to either pan the guitars, fully pan them, or he can keep them down the middle. It really depends on the system that we're going through. It's just a super easy setup. Like we get to a show and, once we're all loaded in, we get everything unpacked. It only takes maybe not even 15 minutes to get everything plugged in and we're ready for sound check. And the same thing goes for breaking down at the end of the night. It's just a matter of pulling a few of these cables. There's a stage box for the other guitar player and the bass player on their side of the stage that they plug their stuff into, and they're fully powered. And we have a drum stage box that stays back with the drummer for all the mics and everything, his vocal, his in-ears, and he just plugs into that. We don't have like spaghetti running all over the stage as far as cables go. We just have a few of these like Cat5 Ethernet cables going back and forth. Just makes it super clean. A lot of sound guys in venues love the setup just because we don't have 100-watt tube amps blowing on stage, killing people in the front row. We have no amps on stage whatsoever. Usually just a big screen behind us, and that runs the whole show from my position. And that's basically it. If anybody has any questions, you want me to expand further on anything, I'll do the best I can. As far as time goes, I just don't have a lot of time. I have a couple other new projects in the works that are going to be also using that. Leppard is going to be doing some Journey as well. Since Journey and Def Leppard are touring this summer, we figured why not combine the two. It's just another show to sell. Starting to work on that now. There's no rush on it. I'm super excited if you haven't been following the band. Andrew Freeman is our new singer. He is the vocalist for Last in Line, Vivian Campbell's old Dio bandmates in that band, and Andrew's the frontman for that. They have 3 albums out. Check them out, Last in Line. And he just started with us this past weekend. It couldn't have gone any better. We're super excited to keep working with him. So right now, I got to get back to work here, but I just wanted to reach out because, like I said, a lot of people have been asking about this and the setup, mostly on Facebook, just because the YouTube channel has been kind of dormant for a while, but maybe this will spark some interest back up on YouTube. Hopefully I'll see you guys out at a show soon. We're going to be playing, we got a bunch of shows coming up through the summer, mostly in the New England area, but we're hoping to start branching out further and further. So until next time, I appreciate the support. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff, and I will see you soon. See ya. So I thought that was the end of the video, but it's not, because I finished that about a week ago. I just hadn't had a chance to edit or actually upload it to YouTube. So what you're seeing now is about a week later. And I wanted to show you a new piece of gear that I got in that's added to my quote-unquote rig. It's another guitar, and let's just head this way. So this is the case. So as you can see, it's an EVH guitar, but which one is it? Some of you may already know. Really nice case that they give you with this stuff. Inside here, These are actually pieces of the strap that I took off because you'll see why in a second. So I got this from Sweetwater, you know, the 55-point inspection, all that stuff. Here is the guitar. It is a Wolfgang made in Japan model. And this is what I was talking about with the strap. So they give you the EVH strap. I just wish it was a little longer. I've almost got it to the end here and it's still sitting a little high up on me. If anybody has any like modifications or tricks to extend this, let me know. But, you know, it's got the eye hooks here. I really like that. The guitar is great. I got a great rep at Sweetwater. And if anybody needs a new one or wants to start ordering from Sweetwater, hit me up and I'll get you in touch. You know, it's got the kill switch. It's just a really beautiful guitar. Sounds great. Plays good right now, but the only thing I need to change is it came with 9 to 42s on it for strings. I actually use 10s. I think when I first started playing for years, I used 9s, but over the years, I like the tighter tension of 10s. I've tried 11s. That was a little too much. The 9s are a little too, you know, I have big hands, big fingers. So, you know, when I'm fretting, especially the higher strings, it just, I lose them. I kind of slip on them and they're a little more floppy, you know, when you're bending notes. I generally push them too far just because I'm used to the 10. So once I get that, I'm going to use it for a while just so I'll wear these strings out first and not waste another set. Great guitar. Just like I said, just got it from Sweetwater the other day. I wanted to add it into the video. I will probably, this is going to be used for a couple of my projects I have going on, but I'll probably use it here and there for the Def Leppard tribute as well. And there's one other thing that I did get in. I had it during the last video, parts of the video that you saw earlier. You may have noticed it in the background, but let's take a look at it. So I also recently just got in this Fender FR12. It's a full range, full response speaker. It's 12-inch speaker in it. It's called actually the Tone Master FR12. Now Fender put this out when they put out their new modeler, which is the Tone Master Pro. Long story short, I actually had 3 of them. First one I ordered, I sent back because I think I was sent a return and it was something weird about it. It had some scratches on it. Got the next one, thought it sounded terrible. Didn't think it was ready for release. Just my opinion. I know a lot of guys love it. It just didn't click for me. So I sent it back. I started hearing more videos and more demos of it. And I'm like, you know, it just sounds really good on these videos. But as you know, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes done on these videos. Not all of them, but some of them. So I ordered it again, came to the same conclusion, just not for me, not ready. It just had this weird, shrill, like high-end sound that I could not dial out without doing a bunch of EQing, and I really don't want to have to do that. Something to me should not have to be EQ'd as much as I was EQing it to be able to use it live. But this thing may be, now as you can see, I have the Headrush 112 here. FR. That's not too bad. That's more of a PA speaker to my ears. It's really boomy and it's got a really like high top end to it. This right here is probably the best FR speaker that I have tried to date. I had an Atomic CLR that just sounded too hi-fi to me, if that makes any sense. Too pristine, too perfect. This, out of all of them, sounds and feels more like an actual guitar amp. And it actually looks cool. It looks like a Fender amp. So you bring this up on stage if you do need to. And it does get loud. It's about 1,000 watts. And what I like about it, it also has the onboard EQ here. So I know Fender, there was a lot of issues with having like a hissing sound coming out of it when it was on. I'm going to turn this one on. I have not really heard what everybody else was hearing, and they have this cut knob here. You can see this is really new. I still have all this stuff on here, but I was told, you know, turn the cut to 12 noon and it gets rid of the hiss, but I've kept it off because I'm going to put this right in front of the speaker. I don't know if anything's picking up on the camera mic here, but I am not hearing any noise at all whatsoever. That's with my pedal board on and with it off. So just a heads up, I think I heard or read that Fender changed something on the newer units. I just got this like 2 weeks ago. So maybe the first units had the issue, but this one definitely doesn't. Hopefully going forward, there aren't all these issues. All right, so I think that is the actual end of the video, unless something else comes in. But no, I think I'm good for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry for being away for so long. It may not be another video coming up in a while, since from this one to the next one, I really don't know. My schedule is just getting a bit crazy. And you can probably tell in between the other footage and this footage, I got a haircut. That's, like I said, about a week apart. But Again, like I said before, like, subscribe, share. I like seeing your comments. If you have any other questions for me, let me know. And I will see you guys on the flip side. I'm actually heading out to NAMM out in Anaheim, January 25th through 29th. I don't know if this video is going to be up before then. It may or may not, but I will be out there. I'm a guest of Vintage Guitars, going to check them out and everybody else. But anybody out there, if this happens to be up before then, search me out and or leave a comment, and maybe we can meet up at NAMM. But I'll see you guys soon, and thank you so much for all the support.